Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boy Mo, and this is the Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, you know what to do. Get down there and hit like on this video. So, what an amazing week for nerds, especially superhero nerds. We got three superhero trailers that we're going to talk about later for Spider-Noir, for Ironheart, finally, and Superman. We're in the post, what's this? The post Thunderbolts or New Avengers afterglow. It's just a great time to be a superhero fan. And so I can't just just love on all this superhero stuff by myself. I need my good friend Polly to come in and just tell me all of the stuff that she's just excited for. Happy to have her back after a few weeks. I think she was moving.
Yes,
Moving in Latveria is something apparently. So
moving to Latveria.
to Latveria.
Yes, it's amazing. Doctor Doom organized everything. That's so amazing.
The Doom
So
bots.
nice of him. Yeah. Yes,
welcome.
the Doom bots. They were carrying the boxes.
Polly,
Well,
good to see you back on the show.
it's
How you
great to
been?
see you.
How you been?
Like I said, moving. A lot of stuff. Finally, all my statues, all my comics are here. So the next time, well, not the next time, but eventually you will see me with a background.
I'm looking forward to seeing
statues.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the shrine to Reed Richards' downfall. I'm sure that's got.
I was googling. I was googling yesterday. What's the anti-shrine called? I didn't find anything that said it's a cursed place, and that just doesn't do it for me. I want the right word. If somebody knows the right word for an anti-shrine, please tell me. Let me know.
just
Because I need this corner for. I am gonna do this. I'm gonna do a corner with the Reed Richards statue with all of the cursed objects around him. I will bring him to his downfall. This is my mission in life.
Honestly, you don't have to work too hard. The man does it himself. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. But I will only be happy when his life is completely miserable, when his wife leaves him, his friends stop talking to him, and his children disown him.
Well, I mean, but what about Pedro Pascal though?
Oh,
did you?
Did you mean Pedro Pascal or his version of Reed
his
Richards?
version of Reed?
Reed Richards is Reed Richards. No, Reed Richards. No,
oh man,
every Reed Richards is a Reed Richards. It's a council of Reeds. They're all the same. Do you remember what they did to Dooms? They lobotomized every Doom they could find.
Crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
Except the Doom.
Yeah, horrible.
Except 616 Doom, because 616 Doom don't play with nobody.
Good for him.
My man right now, he's riding on an armored Tyrannosaurus Rex. Dr. Doom. That's how.
So cool.
I'm just saying, but
I mean, the Doom bot outside my window is actually watching me right now. Dr. Doom is awesome. Thank you.
And the thing is, she said that with real conviction. It's not just because she's afraid.
No.
Besides moving, what you been doing? Anything nerdy?
I was trying to actually watch some trailers. I did not see the Superman trailer yet, which is ridiculous. I just hooked up the TV yesterday, and I was avoiding watching anything before I finally hooked up the TV.
We're gonna pause so you can watch it. We're gonna pause before we talk about this so you can watch the trailer.
Oh,
it's
super excited.
It's 3 minutes and it's amazing.
It's 3 minutes. Oh god. What else? I read some comics. I was trying to read the first few days I didn't have internet here. So, like, except for my mobile internet. So I decided to read the Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo's Starfire, which I had for a while, like in digital version. I had for a while, and I was gonna read it. I was very excited, and I just couldn't find the time. And I started reading it, and it was good. I read half of it already.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's the nerdiest thing I did this week,
Mm-hmm.
aside from unpacking all the like
The nerd stuff.
different comics and yeah, and statues and souvenirs and small things, and I keep finding something, and oh my god, I forgot I had that. And this is
Nice.
very cool.
It's like a treasure hunt in your own place. Uh,
Yeah, it's like Christmas, only like you paid for every gift already, but it was long ago, and now you
right.
don't feel so weird about it.
Well, since the last time we spoke, we had free comic book day here in the United States, um,
Mm-hmm.
which might be the last one because of Diamond and all, whatever. I didn't go. I had to work that day, but I remembered to go in, so I did. I got a couple things. So I got this Mighty Nine, which if you watch Vox
Mm-hmm.
Machina, it's the same people that do Vox Machina, but their most recent campaign that they're about to turn into a animation. Actually, I love Vox Machina. I love D&D. So this is kind of like one a tie-in comic. That's the only free one I got. I did get this, which I said I was gonna get. This is if I can get the glare
Mm-hmm.
off of it, the Moon Girl 10th anniversary. I This is great. I actually need to go back and like read all of the Moon Girl stuff. It's really good. And I'm hoping that they're actually going to do more with her. Uh, that's really though. I didn't really do any nerding on a budget. Oh, I did get this when I went and got Thunderbolts. When I saw Thunderbolts, I decided to get the.
Oh,
I
wait, do you?
I
Oh, you put it in the theater.
yeah.
We
Well, and
didn't get those
yeah,
here, so.
they had a cooler one that was the limo, and I was like, I am not paying $50 for that. Sorry, just it would have been cool. I was not gonna buy that, but it's pretty nice. I may break down if they have a cool popcorn bucket for Superman or Fantastic Four. I may buy them, depending on what it is.
If
If
it's
it's
like
like
Reed Richards,
now, I'm thinking if they do it right, it'll be Ben Grimm something like his hand or something like that, or something like Rocky. You know,
I think that like it has to be like a flower pot with the four of them, except Reed.
it's something. It would be cool if like it would if
Galactus helmet.
that would Galactus helmet would that would be dope. If it's a Galactus helmet, like I'm gonna get it. I don't care what it costs.
Galactus boot.
Not the boot so much, but I don't want to. I don't want to drink out of his foot. But like if it's the popcorn bucket with his head,
Okay,
I
you
mean,
don't have to drink out of his boot, but you definitely do have to.
if
You
they
can eat popcorn out of his boot. It's a sign of respect and like.
if they do a crypto something, I might do that
Oh,
too. I you'll see. So
I think they should like have a popcorn bucket that is like Superman's trunks. Mhm.
no, thank you.
Why?
It would be cool if it would be cool if like I don't know. I'm sure there's if they haven't figured it out by I'm sure they figured it out by now because July is right around the corner. But like
I think
I'm
my idea is a statement.
the trunks. I'm like I'm good on that. But if it was Deadpool would be like, why didn't I make it the trunks? I'm like, yeah, no thanks. um, well, I will see. I'm gonna keep an eye out on those. So, I mean, not too much else nerding on a budget or anything going on. I just haven't had a chance to go shopping this week, but we'll see. Well, maybe next week I'll have some new treasures. So, either way, we are gonna it's a supercast. We are gonna talk about superhero related things. We got a few things to talk about this week. I mentioned before, we have trailers, but uh we are going to talk about Nev Campbell showing up for X-Men 97. That's a
Hell
surprise.
yeah.
Who's she going to be? Daredevil Born Again is going to add a defender, a defender to the season 2 roster. Who's it going to be? And who, have they been sort of priming us for this for a while? Marvel Studios talks about its new yearly output plan. Surprise, it's less. Then we're going to talk about that Spider-Noir trailer, teaser trailer that dropped. Ironheart finally gets a trailer. And Ryan Coogler sort of talks about his involvement in that project. And we're going to talk about that big, Superman trailer. It all dropped it basically within a couple days. Kind of crazy. So we got a few things to talk about. You ready to get into this, Folly?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do it. So, X-Men 97. I'm not even gonna lie. If I had a little more time last week, I really was about to queue up the episodes. I hadn't watched it in a while.
I rewatched it recently.
I feel like it's a comfort show, even though how you can be comfortable with that 5th episode.
Oh God, it's
maybe you built different than me, but I really, because if I had a little bit more time, but I realized, damn, I got like 17 other things I actually need to watch. So, but X-Men 97, let's just call it's a huge success. Among the
I think
fans.
that to this day, I kind of feel like it's the best thing that was released, like the best X-Men adaptation.
Oh, really? More than Evolution?
Yeah.
Wow.
Evolution is always gonna be this my favorite. Well, one of like my favorite nostalgia show. But this one is my favorite nowadays show.
Wow. Well, there you go. That's y'all don't even know. Polly, that basically was like got her into X-Men. Am I right? That's what got you into X-Men was Evolution.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's huge. Your first X-Men, as a nerd, your first X-Men is usually your favorite. For me,
true, but also
not really, because the X-Men, the animated series was what got me into it. Back I was like 12, 13, whatever when it first came out. So yeah, but X-Men 97 is better than than that show. Which is no shade on the old show. They had budget limitations, whatever. And they did.
Also the fact that that show was aimed at kids.
Yeah.
X-Men Evolution was aimed at teenagers. And this one is aimed specifically at adults.
It's aimed at us who watched the original show and like.
Yeah. And this is just the most correct way, I think, to do the X-Men.
Yeah. Well, one thing that we've been looking forward to is when the hell is season 2 going to drop? But that barring that, we want to know who's gonna be in this new season. What storylines are they going to cover? At the very least, we are going to know we're getting a brand new person into the show, and that is a legacy character that we only saw in like sort of a glimpse. We glimpsed them in like a dream sequence or something like that. And that is the character Polaris, who is, if you don't know,
dream sequence and again in the future.
Yeah, that's
like the future that Bastian was had a vision of.
Right,
the future.
The future where was she not one of the
mutants were put to work?
Yeah, so she was a slave mutant. So
yeah,
but this is Polaris, who is the daughter, one of the daughters of
the
Magneto.
Favorite child of Magneto. Like the only child he actually likes.
Which is wild because we can get into that. Magnus he's a special guy. But yeah, the daughter, I think he likes her most because she takes after him the most because she has magnetic.
Well, yeah, and she has a PhD. Can you imagine? Like two of your kids, one has a terrible marriage that ended in divorce and a child. The other one had a psychotic break that killed half of the mutants, like not half, majority of the mutants, and like destroyed Avengers a few times. And the other one, like she got a PhD in geology, I think, or something.
Right, but also she's the one that people I don't think are as up on. Even I've read X-Men comics. I'm not as up on. It's like I feel like Polaris is a character they keep trying to make happen. And she just never hits the way that Wanda and Pietro hit.
True, and right now, the last time right now we see her in X Factor, which is I think getting canceled.
Which was funny. She started off in didn't she? Wasn't she in X Factor in the original? Was she in not the original incarnation? Because the original incarnation was the original X-Men
The
in
original
X
X-Men,
Factor.
yeah, when they
But there
came
was a
back to
second,
life.
yeah, there
Yeah.
was a second incarnation where Havoc was the leader of the team.
Where X Factor became actually interesting.
Yeah. Which that's a, okay. That's a side discussion we can have about the original X Men, but we
Yeah,
have
but yeah, I think that she was one of the founding members there,
yeah.
and still, like right now, it's the X Factor that is this government supported mutant team,
So it's a
and
team of
Polaris
so
is
it's a
like
team
in
of
the
pygmies. Is am I right? Is it? It's a
yes,
team of
exactly,
pygmies.
absolutely. That's
I
the best way to
that,
describe them, and they
that's
also like
wild. That is wild. That's all. You know, back in the '90s. Okay, we're supposed to be talking about Nev Campbell being Polaris. We will get to that.
yeah
I just want to note back in the '90s. So remember that was the Extreme X-Men era, right? That's
yeah.
Liefeld and
No,
Claremont.
Extreme X-Men
No,
it
not
was Claremont.
what I mean is the '90s was kind of the transition from the Claremont era. So they were bringing in Jim Lee and all of them. But the point is that during that era, X Factor was the redheaded stepchild of all the, because like every other team was cool as hell, right? You had X Force, X Men Blue, X Men Gold, all that shit, right?
I still think that X-Force was just the like
It
ruined
was
New
it was
Mutants. I
just
love New Mutants, and then Liefeld ruined that, and I never forgive him for that, or his lack of skill when it comes to art. But yeah, X Factor became cool in the 2000s when
it,
Liefeld left. Like
well, the thing about X Factor was always the less cool.
X-Force.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
X Factor was in that era was always the less cool team. Like because they were the government team. Like, but they still had a book and everything because the X titles, sold. But they were just less cool. And so Polaris was part of that. So I never thought she was all that cool or interesting. So it'll be cool to see what they do with her. Now, again, Nev Campbell has been cast. We've talked about none of that. Nev Campbell, of course, being her claim to fame, and not lately, but her original claim to fame, she was, the main character in the Scream movie, at least the first three, and she's gone on to do more things after that. So,
Like other Screams.
yeah, she was in Scream
I
five.
think yeah, it was like the new one.
The newer one, yeah. I want to say 5.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't in 4, but she was in 5. But not in.
She's gonna be in Scream 7.
Yeah. She was not in 6 because they didn't want to pay her, and she's gonna be in 7 because Melissa Barrera got fired because of her her Palestinian whatever her Gaza thoughts, and what's her name? Jenna Ortega just quit. Maybe out of solidarity. Whatever. It's stuff. The point is, I like this. I'm gonna say I like this. I think Nev Campbell. She kind of disappeared from Hollywood for a little while for reasons I don't know or understand. But she's not. She's kind of on the comeback. And
it's also interesting because I don't think she did any voice work. Like,
I don't know that she has it either. So it'll be interesting. Also, I just wonder how much of a role is Polaris really going to play in this season. Because I think it really we've sort of been set up an idea of like that. Obviously, Apocalypse is on the move again. He's we know he's doing some stuff. Could she be a horseman?
And also, like the original team disappeared, so Forge is assembling the other team, and like the backup team, to find the original X-Men. She's probably going to be the part of that team.
Was Polaris not on that wall of mutants?
I think she was on the board because I remember Dust was on the board, and
that's crazy.
That was like Dust.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to me that Dust would be one of the people. Like, I think everybody on that board is going to show up.
You saw that they pulled some like on I want to say Krakow on Genosha. They pulled some interesting mutants like Cypher, who hasn't been like around in years, and Exodus, who was a whole other thing. But he was around during Krakow. and like a lot of this lesser known mutants. So it's interesting who else they can pull and make interesting
am I
again.
misremembering on that board? Did they not have Monet St. Croix on there?
I don't think they did.
Am I wrong?
Let me
I may be
pull up the board.
misremembering that. I was surprised when I saw that board because there was actually several newer characters.
Okay,
Uh,
so there's like Colossus, Dust, Magic. There's Iceman. There is Havoc, Exodus, Kitty Pryde, and Emma Frost.
okay, so
These
not.
are the ones he
It would
could
be nice.
he could track. So
Yeah,
yeah, Lorna wasn't
it would
there.
be cool if they brought. But either way, it's cool that Polaris is going to be in there. Obviously, they're going to have to replace Magneto's off the board. At least was he in the future now, or I don't remember where he is. Or is he
He
dead?
was in the. I
Dead?
think he was in the. No, I think he was in the past with. Well, actually, I don't remember.
Well, either way, this sounds to me like they're bringing X Factor into the game. So if X Factor is gonna, if because wasn't Polaris and Havoc were at least
Polaris and Havoc, yeah,
definitely our thing. So it'll be interesting to see. This turned into a much different conversation.
Also, Kitty Pryde.
Yeah,
which is like really exciting to see Kitty Pryde there finally.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see. I'm looking forward to seeing more of these announcements about voice actors. But I will say this one thing I will say is I hope that they get regular voice actors and not like, oh look, we got this celebrity. I'm like, come on, like,
yeah,
because say what you will about the man's stupid things he said. Hudson Thames, he more is more a voice actor seems to me than he is an actor. He's pretty good, But I also will say Coleman Domingo was.
He's not clever.
Yeah,
but he's good at what he does.
Yeah, well, Coleman Domingo, however, is a great on-screen actor, and he actually did an awesome job. So, like, it's I think my thing is I just want them to come into it and like be as serious about it as they are about their on-screen presence. If you are, cool. You and I are going to get along. This is not a phone in.
There's also it's the thing again. Always the thing with the stunt casting and when trying to push famous names where they don't belong. It's like the constant conversation they have with Dazzler. Like if Dazzler appears, which singer is gonna play her?
Right. Nobody wants that.
Okay. No.
She don't have to do that unless they're gonna have her singing. Nobody
ever said that Dazzler was like a magnificent singer. Okay, she doesn't have to have like the voice like Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah,
who is, by the way, a great actress also.
Right. Oh, if they made Dazzler, if Cynthia Erivo were Dazzler, ooh,
oh my god,
he would be so mad.
They'd be so mad. That would be. First of all, that would be honoring the original idea, as far as I remember, of I think Chris Claremont was to base her on Grace Jones.
They would be so mad, though. So
I don't care. I want that. I also like. I wouldn't. I remember that I heard that she wanted to play Storm, or like there was a conversation. I think she said it. But like Dazzler, damn, that would be amazing.
Well,
it's like it's my second favorite casting after Gambit. The guy from Bridgerton. I keep forgetting what his name
John Page.
Yes.
That, like, once again,
if he was Gambit, if that was Dazzler, I don't care. I would be so happy.
They would be so angry.
I mean, he can't be that. He can't be angry at that casting. It's perfect.
Well, Neve Campbell, we're looking forward to seeing what she's going to do. And we'll see. Hopefully, like in the next 2 years, we'll actually get this damn show. I think it's next year, actually, but we'll see. And if we get more casting announcements, we'll let you guys know all about it then. All right, so moving on, speaking of casting announcements, the least well-kept secret in comic book movie or TV news, which is that Kristen Ritter has confirmed that and I think Marvel's confirmed that she will be returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe
Thank God.
as Jessica Jones in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Again, least well kept secret in Hollywood. I mean, she's been teasing this shit for the better part of 18 months. Some people are like, she's manifested this. Because she's been like, sure, I'd come back. I'm in the gym working out. Oh, Daredevil's coming back. I wonder if somebody else should come back. She kept doing that on social media.
Can't a person just, work out?
Yeah, she's like, I'm not working out for a thing. Yeah, I'm not working out for a thing. I got nothing going on.
That's just
my
my morning routine.
Yeah, but then she puts like the little devil horns or something on it. I'm like, come on.
I actually haven't been following that, so when I saw the news, I was like, "Hey!" And it also makes sense because, like, we all saw the last episode of Daredevil, and what kind of team are you assembling there? This is the local bird dwellers and like random people. You're not gonna take down Kingpin with those. Who's gonna help you, Karen? What's she gonna do? Die?
Yeah, probably. He's what's his name? Matt's calling on Moe's Tavern. He wants everybody at the Simpsons Tavern to come to the table. We're gonna do it.
Barney.
Barney will do it. Barney can take some hits. Barney can take some hits. He'll stand in the pocket with anybody.
Yeah, but with Kingpin, you don't need to only take hits because Matt can do them himself. But you need to get some in.
Well, Mo has a shady past. We're not gonna talk about it. But no, Kristen Ritter coming back. I love this. I've only watched I've only watched half a season of Jessica Jones. This is my bad. I should have watched all of them. I know that. I'm not a good nerd sometimes. Sometimes I fall short. Y'all, give me a break.
We all have sins. Okay?
Yeah, we have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of the comic book gods. But I'm going to get it together. I love this idea. First of all, just because, Karen wasn't in the first season enough. And we got a lot of Heather, and I didn't love that. Y'all know I don't like the character.
Okay, could we stop with Heather hate? I'm gonna one of these days I'm gonna write something about her because I feel bad for her. Like everybody hates her, but the real villain in this is Matt, and we all know that.
All right, you're turning into
the guy's a disaster.
You're turning it. You don't make it a read. Don't make it a read situation.
It's not a real thing. I keep saying that Daredevil is one of my favorite characters. I absolutely love that he's like a disaster and his personal life keeps falling apart. It's a very on brand for him. I love the stories about him. I don't hate him. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's the best thing that happened to every woman he's been with. Because it's the opposite. For most of them, he's the last thing that happened to them.
Wow, he's the fridge. The fridging is not, he's not the originator of the fridging thing, but still.
No.
But it's still, I get it.
He does it a lot.
Well, here's the great thing about her is that she has no romantic entanglements with him whatsoever. She's entangled with somebody else. Who I'm hoping this means like this, not to just push her aside. This isn't that. I can't wait to see her in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I also want to see Mike Coulter come back. I need my Luke Cage. Luke Cage, I love Luke. Like y'all don't even know. Like of all my favorite superhero characters, I love Luke Cage. I haven't read all this
they
stuff.
better be together in that.
Or were they supposed to have a baby? Did they have a baby in the show?
They do in the comics.
Well, I know in the comics. I'm talking about in the show.
The show ended with him being the leader of that club.
Yeah, that's so I heard.
Yeah, the evil club, and I think he was still dating Ahsoka. I got my shows mixed up.
Oh, you're talking about the night nurse. What's her name?
What's her name? Claire Temple.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, he was still with her, and
I mean, yeah,
of course they had this thing with Jessica, but it didn't they split up, and we
We
don't like
need it.
that.
We need it because we need the scroll baby. Remember, we need the scroll.
Yeah, and we need to shame Matt into remembering why his life is such a disaster, and they
But he's like,
uh,
they're like, we're both vigilantes and we're making it work. What's your problem?
yes. Well, his problem is actually that he keeps going after regular women. I think that he is one of those characters
Well,
that
I mean,
should be dating
him and
another
Elektra.
superhero.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Elektra's him and Elektra is a horrible combination too. They're like what you know how Spider-Man and Black Cat dance around each other, but they're not gonna get together. They have fun, but they're not gonna be together.
Well, that's because he's always complaining about how she kills people, and like, come on.
Babe, I hate your day job. Can you just quit and be a stay at home
Yeah,
mom? Quit. But this is
right.
it's like I don't care. That's what you love to do and that you're good at.
That's also, he has this problem, and I'm sorry for like shifting to another conversation, but it is what it is. He has this problem that where regular women, like non-superheroes, they don't like what he does. And then he goes after a villain of sorts, and he doesn't like what she does.
I think
Get your shit together.
I think my
Maybe
dream.
he should. I don't know what's his views on stealing, because maybe he should get together with Black Cat.
I
And
don't.
also,
I honestly, I
I
don't
think
think
he
so.
tried to at some point.
It's not. It wouldn't work. I think she. I don't think she'd like his vibe. He's a little too.
I think at some point, like they had something of a hint of a thing or something like that. But maybe also like he definitely had something with Misty Knight.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. This is very much a I date who I work with situation.
He's like, I date whoever's breathing,
I
and
will
sometimes
say
who
I will
used
say
to be
that
dead.
if he gets with anybody in the MCU, I want it to be Jennifer Walters. Uh, I think
No, that's too healthy.
I think
That actually works.
she can't be killed, and she matches his. She's smarter than him. Can we say that
Yes,
she's smarter
but
than
also she's a
she's
better
smarter.
lawyer, so he's gonna be
She's
pissed about
smarter,
that.
a better lawyer, and she can. I think she can diffuse a lot of his foolishness. But we haven't seen
By a
enough of it.
punch.
Not a no. I think she outlawyers him in real life too. Just like
Yeah.
just
But
you
that
because
would be
you notice how
amazing.
yeah.
Also, the problem is that would be healthy, and he doesn't. He needs therapy, and look what he's done to the therapist.
He's got it. Yeah, I get it. Well, I'm glad to see this. I hope we'll get more casting like this. That's brings back the OGs. Like if
Oh yeah,
if they're gonna build out the street level side, let's do it and bring these guys back.
and Iron Fist.
Yeah, I unironically want Iron Fist ironically want him to come back, but we'll see.
Me
Uh,
too. Yeah,
uh,
I don't hate him. I didn't hate the show.
no, I didn't either. Next, hopefully this should be brief. Uh, Marvel Studios. We know that they're pulling back on their thing. I talked last week that Feige was like, we made the MCU feel like homework. People are talking about we put too much stuff out, it diluted the brand. Bob Iger's been saying this stuff. Like we diluted the brand. We're trying to reel it back in and focus on quality and rather than quantity, which is fair, but also like, is that not just the mandate in general? Is my question. Like you're all just like we just got to pump this stuff out. Who cares? Is that how y'all work? Like we got 17, pots to boil, and we're just gonna like ignore what's going. I get it. They were saying he was stretched too thin. I think this is why they've sort of sectioned out. Remember, everything came under Marvel Studios, and he was just the head honcho. Well, they sectioned it out. Now, Brad Winderbaum has a lot more responsibility for the TV and animation side, and the individual producers on movies are there. He's got a lot more responsibility, sort of spread out, so that he's not the guy. which is again, why wasn't it like that in the first place? Like, I get Feige is the guy, but he can't be the one. He can't be personally working on every fucking thing. That's stupid, right? Um, and I'll. This is a bit of an aside. I think that this was a consequence of James Gunn getting fired. Now you be like, Mo, what are you talking about? What does James Gunn have to do with anything? Maybe y'all don't remember, but back before he was fired, uh, James Gunn was sort of being tapped as the person that was leading the cosmic side of the MCU. That was going to be his little area where he was, the Feige of the cosmic side, and he would have taken some responsibility off of Feige's shoulders to oversee what was going on there. And I think that if that was the way, it's in other words, you read comics a lot, Polly, and at Marvel, what do? There's a editor over all the Spider-Man books, right? There's an editor over all the X-Men books. There's an editor over the Avengers. And that's the way it ought to be at Marvel Studios. So I think they're doing that now. So that's a long way of saying they ain't going to make as much. They're, Bob Iger, he said he was talking to investors at an upfront meeting, and 3 movies per year. This is their yearly output. 3 movies per year at most. So they're not even saying 3 guaranteed, just at the most 3 movies. 1 to 2 live action shows and 2 animated shows. So every year, that's the output we should expect. Polly, well, I mean, does this make sense? And does this give you some confidence that they're quote on the right track, or is the MCU
no.
is the MCU back? Because they're making
it
changes.
didn't go away. I'm gonna keep saying that. We had great projects. The fact that some of them didn't get the attention or the love that they deserved, it's not their fault. It's not our fault. It's the race's fault. More often than not. But I kind of feel like it's still a lot in a way, because 3 movies per year I can understand, but 2 live action shows, I don't know. Depends on what you put in the shows, because it's already a huge catalog, and you have to be very careful with the projects that you actually greenlight. And 2 animated shows, well, that's kind of feels like a lot in a year, because we have a lot of stuff coming out from different sources, not just Marvel Studios. And we want to watch something, but we don't have 24 hours in a day to watch everything. So people are still going to be picking and choosing, and that's still going to be kind of like homework for most people. I don't know. It kind of feels to me like they didn't change much. They just added a schedule and set the limit, but it doesn't feel like it's less than it was.
Well, it's less than when it was at its peak, where we were getting 3-4 movies a year plus 3 or 4 shows, like animated and live action shows. And I look at it.
When was that?
It was basically right after Disney Plus. Not right after, a couple years after Disney Plus launched, and we had a bunch of things going. I look at this, and it's not a huge change. It's like when they say 3 movies max, it could be 1, 2, or 3 movies. So, at a minute, it said 1 to 2 live action shows and 2. So at a minimum, you have maybe 4 Marvel Studios projects come out in 1 year, and at the most,
and
at the most you get.
I understand that they
7.
still need to keep all the actors not working, but working until they age out of the part they're playing.
Right. It looks to me like, so I think this makes sense. This seems like more ideal in the sense that things don't step on each other's toes. They each project's given a chance to breathe and have its moment, and then you move on. The idea here
Except
being,
Ironheart.
well, we'll get to
We're
that.
gonna get to
We'll
that.
get to that. But if you think
Yeah.
if you think about it, if they schedule it, if they spread everything out appropriately, 7 projects in a year, everything gets like six ish, some, at least 6 weeks to kind of breathe and do its thing. Or if they are TV shows, they get to launch their first 2 or 3 episodes and then bam, 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 have a weekly release and not step on another Marvel release. The idea being, hey, every month, you got something Marvel to watch. You got something Marvel
Mhm.
to pay attention to, and there's no dead time. But there could be years where, hey, there is going to be dead time. I think next year we only get 2 Marvel movies. I think next year is just Doomsday and Spider-Man. So, which is fine. Again, given these things time to breathe, to kind of
Yeah.
build
We
anticipation.
ain't getting Blade anyway.
No, this never happening. I've given up on
No.
that. I've given up on that. That is not happening. At least not with Mahershala Ali. So I think this is look. This doesn't disappoint me. This is more or less what I'm expecting. The only question I have is, since we're reducing output, how are they going to prioritize characters and stories and everything? And are we going to get our representation diminished? I'd say probably. It's just, I'm
I don't want
probably.
to say, but I imagine what this meeting with the shareholders looked like.
I think probably it's and it's and look,
Yeah.
and I'm not even going to chalk it up. It's not all racism. Some of it is there's just a ton more non-diverse characters that are, there's more male characters and more white male characters.
I mean, look at the praise that Thunderbolts received.
Yeah.
And I can't help thinking that there is a bit of a reason to that.
I mean, to be fair, I think Thunderbolts is really good. It's
really good.
It's really really
It is
good.
really good,
It is
but
also
I hate
it's
to
also really,
think that
yeah,
a
it's really
part of
white
it,
too.
a part of it is them not trying to alienate the people we don't talk about and we don't like.
Those guys,
Although there is amazing sequence where Eva and
at the end,
Elena make fun of US agent.
Oh yeah, no, at the very beginning, yes. Well, I will say
Yeah,
this:
it's so good.
The thing about Thunderbolts is, at the very least, it's built. It's not a terribly diverse cast. And I understand why it's not a terribly diverse. I'm not even mad about that. I noticed it. I wasn't
I'm
mad.
mad about
I
that,
wasn't
but
mad about it. I like the characters that are in it. Um, this is a result of the legacy of the MCU coming late to the game in terms of bringing diverse characters into play. So and some of it also is because they kind of said like all the mercenary and spy and assassin business is real. There's a lot of Eastern Europeans in it. There's a lot of or there's the covert ops game. It seems to be kind of dominated by white people, and it's fine. I get it. So I'm not terribly mad about it. I would I would love if they would bring a disgraced Dora into the game, because let me tell you, I shit you not, I think Io would beat the shit out of pretty much everybody on the Thunderbolts except for Bob. I think I am not kidding. If I think about it, Io could definitely beat the shit out of the Elena. I think
she did beat the shit out of Bucky.
I think, and she remember, and she's fought super soldiers before. I believe I believe she'd go in on basically everybody in the Thunderbolts. But also, it would be cool if a War Dog or a disgraced Dora were, out there, doing merc work. That would be cool. But whatever.
Yeah, it's because well, yeah, that's true.
But
That's a really good
we'll
idea.
never see it. That's up to Ryan Coogler. So either way, this looks cool. I'm a Marvel Studios ride or die, so I'm just looking for it. Whatever we get, I'm ready to eat. So let's go. So let's get into these. Let's get into these trailers. We're gonna talk about first the Spider-Noir trailer, which I said this on Threads and I stand by it. Sony shamed Marvel into dropping their Ironheart trailer. Because they dropped a teaser. This shit is not coming out. This is not coming out to December. Am I wrong, or is it September? It's coming out later in the year, way later in the year.
Yeah.
And they dropped a little 30-second teaser just to show you what they working with and to be like, hey, this is a thing that's happening. Before Ironheart got a trailer. That's I mean, come on.
That's some good shaming, by the way.
And people had.
If you want to shame someone, that's how you do
it. Some people were trying to be like, "What? That doesn't mean anything." Like Sony, they don't run Marvel Studios. I'm like, you're right, but you have to think Sony has been relentlessly fucking up their characters for like the last 5 or 6 years. They've been in the game of just tearing, and they still said, "No, here's a trailer for our new Spider-Man shit. Y'all want to see this?" It's interesting because they don't care. They're like, "No, we're making a thing. Here's a teaser. Get excited."
Sony, I really don't think that it's gonna be good. It's kind of a feeling inside, you know.
Well, let's talk about the trailer. It was very short. It's Nick Cage. Like, look, if Nick Cage is not your flavor, I get it. Like he has a like. And by the way, when he wants to act, he can act. Like we know that, right? I happen to
what?
I happen to like Nick Cage. I don't
have anything against him. It's just that I don't think that I have seen him acting.
He can act if he wants to, but lately he's been playing himself, which is, if you are an actor, that's the holy grail of acting, is to be able to play in every role you get is just being you. Like if you're Ryan Reynolds, you've reached that point. If you're Denzel Washington, you sort of reached that point where people just want to see you, right? And they'll just
pretty sure if you're Jeff Goldblum, you're never
if you're Jeff Goldblum, you're always you're just you. You're just you. Okay, that's the holy grail. You just get to come to work and just be regular. So Nick Cage is that guy. That being said, I fucking loved him in Across the Spider-Verse. His Spider-Man Noir is amazing, and they said, let's just make a live action version. And I said, that's probably not a good idea, but I'm going to show up for it. I will.
Of course.
As soon as they said it, people were like, is Nick Cage coming back? And they were like, yes, Nick Cage is coming. I was like, sold. I'll be there. That said, this trailer, I don't know what to think about it. Like, I liked it, but I was also like, I don't know. It looks, you know what it looks like? It looks like they tried to make Sin City the TV show.
I thought it looked fake.
Sin City, the TV show. Remember Sin City, the movie?
I mean, I remember the movie. I don't remember the TV show.
They were like, what if Sin City was a TV show? And also it had a guy with spider powers and light up goggles. What do you think about that? And I was like, I don't know, but I want to see what's going on here.
It might end up being good. You never know.
Well, here's the good thing. Yeah, Nick Cage is. What's he? Is he 60? He might be. He's up. He's up there. And he's playing an aged version of his character, right? So he is older in this. So he's playing age appropriate. Well, I think what's going on though is, since it's a mask, it's just a stunt person doing all the cool stuff. So so we're gonna get cool stunts. He's always going to have the mask on, so it's just going to be him. It's going to be a Mandalorian situation where somebody else is doing the work and he's just doing the voice. As long as he's bringing that energy, and it seems like he's bringing that energy from like Across the Spider-Verse into this, I'm down with this. And I love a good pulpy noir thing. It's I don't care how silly.
Yeah, that's true. That's no. The genre itself, that could be really interesting because obviously. In terms of style, in terms of visuals, he can do a lot with that.
Yeah,
I wish this show could be something like what Ruled by Night was, because
Yeah.
that was one of the best stylized Marvel project, and I
Ooh.
think that now we're gonna get Fantastic Four that's gonna be on the same level. But if that show could reach that level of dedication to the visuals and to the mood of the whole thing, then yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be good.
Look, I don't have high hopes for this. I'm not gonna lie.
Me neither.
My expectations are not high for this.
Really
Uh,
low.
um,
Really low.
especially, but this has the potential to be cool. This has a really so I'm just like I'm reserving judgment. I like the trailer. I have some concerns, but I'm just gonna let them cook, and we'll see what they get.
Yeah,
It's
that's
they
definitely
got
a we'll see
yeah,
situation.
they got to the end of the year, so y'all got the end of the year. Let's make it happen.
They have time to change everything.
Yeah, I mean they could completely just recut everything and make it unrecognizable. I don't know. We'll see. We'll let you guys know. Hopefully, when the full trailer comes out, probably in 3 or 4 months. We'll see. We'll let you guys know what we think then. Uh, so now we got to talk about the elephant in the room, or the Ironheart in the room, I guess. They finally look. We've been searching for the Ironheart trailer for so long. I honestly was about to report it missing. I was gonna tell the police have you seen?
Put it on a milk carton.
Yeah, put it on a milk cart. Just put up. Have you seen Ironheart? We've heard. Marvel's holding it hostage. It was ridiculous. And also all of these idiots on the internet that are just like, this is normal, and why are y'all making this about race?
Nah, you're
I
right.
don't.
That was so many excuses and
Oh my
randomest
god!
and most stupid excuses. Like,
Like
oh my, no, that's not, that's how they usually do it. Look
no,
at Daredevil. Daredevil received a ton of promotion every week, like from reels, photo shoots, everything, press, everywhere. It was
yeah,
Daredevil, Daredevil,
yeah,
Daredevil. It's not the same.
no,
And
no.
most people in the comments every time, like as you saw when Megan was doing her promotion,
Mm-hmm.
every time she posted something, there was somebody in the comments who said like, oh my god, I didn't know that was a thing.
It's
Every single time. That's ridiculous. Like how bad are you at promoting? There is a marketing department over there, and I know that there are some people who are good at their jobs because they did great promotion for some projects. But also, was there a specific person who was put in charge of promoting Ironheart who just was not good at their job?
They were on vacation.
Were they sick on vacation, dead? I don't know. Maybe they were kidnapped. Maybe they just forgot that they like need to do some work when they at work.
I
What
don't
were they
know.
doing?
I feel like Ironheart is District 12's tribute from the 53rd Hunger Games. Like they just you just going to die. Sorry, just we're not no fanfare. Nope, you're just going to die. You are not Katniss. We're
Yeah,
not expecting you to come back. It's wild. It's ridiculous. It's insulting. It's
it is. It is
because
highly offensive
because
because it's Ryan Coogler is a producer of the project. The person who just had a hit movie, a massive hit movie that's like one of the mm, masterpieces of the generation, and people are already talking about
yeah,
it. And you have this person working on a project, and you have like their ideas put into the project, and you have great cast, and something cool is going on there, judging from the trailer apparently. But you just letting it die because what? You're afraid of some racists? You're afraid of the
it's
people who was screaming MCU is back after Thunderbolts because they're gonna say, "Oh my God, MCU is dead again."
or do they think it's bad? Like I'm trying to figure this out. Do y'all have no confidence in it? Do you think it's bad? Like does it not
I
fit
don't think
into
it's bad. I think they think it's black.
it's I mean, there's that like I'm not trying to make excuses. I just genuinely want to know look, I just said this. Sony, they know they have trash and they still put more effort into promoting Madam they put more effort into promoting Madam Web than they have into Ironheart. And there's no way Ironheart's worse than Madam Web. I don't believe it. So like, this is some
Did they have faith in Madam Web?
It's just, well, whether or not they had faith, they had marketing for it. Like, what I'm trying to say is like, this is some bullshit. I think I was talking with Freddie from DMV Comic Book Nerd last week. I was on his the podcast with him. Shout out to him and Big Boy Nerd, a curly insane guy, Claude and Travell.
I so wanted to be there. Like every time, I was literally moving. It's so devastating. I haven't been on his show in forever, and I missed it.
It was fun. Look, it was fun, but we were talking about this, and like, it does, like, it's hard not to see a race element to it.
Of course.
But like, do they just not believe? Like, they are relying on us, the fans, but like black fans in particular, to do all the fucking work for them for free. And I'm like, that is infuriating. I got actual time with, Megan was doing. I'm like, this is crazy. She's done
literally more than their marketing department.
Yeah, I don't get paid.
She should get paid. Let's just caress them into paying her for that.
But like, and then they got shamed into fucking dropping the trailer. And then they finally do Sony. It. And so, well, let's actually talk about the trailer. Well, Ryan Coogler did a real quick thing where he was like, hey, yeah, I like comics and this character, and it was really cool. He talked about Bendis, creating the character and everything and wanting to bring it. I'm like, why the fuck didn't y'all do this like too? And I get it. He was heavy into doing the whole Sinners thing, right? He's still in the middle of doing Sinners, but y'all could have put this shit out like a month ago. Like this entire everything. Don't tell me y'all just cut this trailer. I don't believe it. So y'all just sat up. Was it y'all didn't want to step on Sinners? How would it have stepped on Sinners? Sinners was not going to be impacted whatsoever by this fucking trailer or by the promotion of this show. It's
literally one is a movie, like literally a movie, and the other one is a TV show.
It's crazy. So I guess we actually ought to talk about the trailer itself. Let's talk about the trailer itself. I think it's a really good trailer. I don't think it's an amazing trailer, but I think it's a really good trailer. I think it tells us everything we need to know, and we are definitely not getting another trailer. This is the everything you need to know is in this trailer. So I mean, we see the hood. They don't hide it. We see the hood, right? We see Ezekiel Stain, which we knew Alden Ehrenreich was supposed to play that. He's good. I thought he was a bad guy in the comics. I don't remember. I didn't really get into him.
This could be like
He could be a good guy. He could be a bad guy. He
could be a bad guy pretending to be a good guy.
Yeah, well, he's the billionaire that has the money that she needs.
He's not going to be a good guy.
So, but you get the hood. Anthony Ramos is the hood, which I think is an interesting casting. Parker Robbins in the comics is a terrible person. He is a bad guy. Like he is a bad guy. And he's got that cloak that lets him do some pretty terrible things. Like dude's a fucking murderer. He is a criminal. So it's interesting. I'm like, Anthony Ramos, I want to see your turn on him because Parker Robbins otherwise.
I want to see how you can pull
because in the comics, Parker he is an unrepentant like criminal. He who lucks out and finds this thing that gives him power, and he's like, I'm going to become a kingpin, and he does his thing. So I'm going to be interested.
I'm going to be evil.
And this one, he's like, oh, I'm trying to recruit Riri Williams. And another thing is, so she's taking shady money. I'm like, just call Shuri if you need some damn money. Shuri you got her cell phone number. Call her. Why you okay? I'm interested.
She doesn't answer her phone. Yeah. She has the beads.
Yeah, sure. I'm interested. I saw this.
I don't think they gave Riri the beads, so she can't. Call.
Just call this. I mean, the cell phones were. But
the embassy. Hello.
So
the embassy.
But we get like what I like about this is that it seems to be people still ain't good putting no respect on her name. You know, she clearly the smartest person at MIT. No respect on her name. The woman built a damn Iron Man suit out of spare ass part. You know, as Obadiah Stane said, she built it out of a box of scraps, right? So I'm interested in seeing, because there's a lot of there's meta
We have a
commentary
saying
going on.
to build something out of like shit and sticks.
Yeah, I mean, she got a flying that out, but you know, they're not putting respect on her name. You know, she's having to turn to, like, you know, maybe shadier ways to make the things she wants, and probably finds out she's in too deep. Now she got to, like, you know, as in true Tony Stark fashion, she got to, you know, fix her mess because she got in bed with the wrong person. Okay. Interesting. I'm interested. I think the CG looks good too, so I'm ready. I don't know. I've talked a lot. What do you think?
First of all, yeah, all the things you said is pretty much kind of bits of the story that we're getting. I think that they're gonna do with the thing with Hood, where they're gonna introduce him, and then they're gonna, like, he could probably turn either way. I don't know. Could be like the what's his face? Mysterious situation where he
Mm-hmm.
pretends to be like one thing and turns out to be another thing. Could be that they go in with the original comic book thing, and could be like MCU sometimes changes characters
Mm-hmm.
a lot from their original selves, or not a lot, but still. And I think it's too early to say what kind of character we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I did love the visual, kind of like a grounded TV show visual style of the trailer. The acting seems to be like a very specific, very down to earth thing. Like, kind of feels like you're in the room with the characters. At least it felt for me this way when I was watching the trailer. And of course, I'm very excited about everything that's
Right.
going on there. I think it's gonna be great. I have really high expectations of it.
Okay.
And I think that the story is going to surprise us still,
Yeah.
because there are going to be these moments and hopefully there are going to be these moments and these topics that again sometimes get addressed very well. Social issues and stuff like that. I think we're going to see some of that, and I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that they're dropping 3 episodes in the first day, and then it's, you know, I think it's weekly after that, the other 3. So it's only 6 episodes, and I don't even think the episodes are all that long. I don't. They may be 30 minutes. So it's a movie cut up into parts, basically. Sounds like to me.
Yeah.
I don't love that, but you know, we'll see. It might actually make sense. So the one thing that annoys me about these shows is that they drop 2 or 3 at once, because otherwise the first episode doesn't stand well on its own, and I don't like that.
Actually, I like that because it's kind of like a movie again, yes, but also it does have a slower pacing, and
Mm-hmm.
it does give some moments time to breathe and some tension time to build up.
Right.
And there is a lot more that they can tell,
Mm-hmm.
like backstories of some characters. Like I was rewatching Agatha yesterday, and it's really noticeable how there are things that if it were a movie you couldn't have had there,
Mm-hmm.
but these things are not, sometimes they're not necessary, but they add depth.
Right.
So that's what I appreciate about this movie cut up into episodes things.
Do you think we're gonna get Mephisto finally? Because that is,
No,
it's his cloak.
I think at this point he's probably gonna be mentioned, but we're not gonna see him. Maybe he will eventually be the big bad or something. Could you
It's
imagine
interesting.
that? That would be cool.
I do kind of like this concept of mixing the technology and the magic, which is something
Yeah.
we've only barely touched on between Doctor Strange and you know Tony Stark meeting very briefly. Like that's one thing we never really we only got to see them interact twice, and that was in the midst of a battle, or leading up to a battle or something like that. So I think this will be
Well,
interesting.
Doom was doing that.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they do. We'll see how they bring him in. So this is I think I'm looking forward to this. This has come out in about a month, so we'll check it out then. Let you guys know what we think about that. Which leads us to the Superman trailer, which we're gonna pause. You're gonna see a break here because Polly's got to watch this. I refuse to talk about this without her
Okay,
having seen
let
it
me
first. So
pull
we're
it
gonna
up.
pause right
Let
here
me
and we're gonna
watch
get
it.
right back to it. All right,
Mhm.
unpause. All right, so I rewatched it. Polly watched it for the first time, so this is her first reaction to it. I'm not even gonna talk because I've I gotta post my reaction, but I have reacted to it. What did you think about this trailer?
First of all, oh my God, Lois, just like keep your work life and your personal life separated, okay?
He asked for it. He said, "Sure, yeah, you can interview me."
Can you imagine how many times she, as a journalist, like I have a degree in journalism, and as a journalist, she probably bugged him about this for like weeks, ever since they met.
Did you notice as soon as she did it, he was like, "All right, I'm Superman," and she's like, "All right,
Yeah.
I'm Pulitzer Prize winning Lois Lane," and she didn't play with him like at all.
Yeah, I mean, this entered the country illegally. Oh my God, Lois, just
Amazing,
no.
amazing. Anyway, sorry,
But
you were
also,
saying.
like, it's perfect casting, I think, because the way it looks, it's amazing. The trailer is so epic. The music, again, I love that they brought in the original theme and they like adjusted it, of course, but it's so awesome. Mm, and I don't know what's going on. I don't want to think about what's going on in the movie because I want to be surprised by everything. Mm.
Nicholas Holt said, "Hey, all those other Lex Luthor. I know y'all like Michael Rosenbaum. Forget about him. Don't even think about him no more. I'm that guy. Boy, he's got an air of hater on him that I've never seen. I rarely see this on a character. He is a hater, and he's got time to hate. Like you could tell. Like I got time and money to hate on this motherfucker right here.
Yeah, like he's hating professionally. I gotta up my
Yeah,
game.
he is Doom Reed Richards level hate. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
That said,
I respect that. But
he
also I like Superman, so
yeah
I just really
he
respect
looks
it.
good. The engineer looks good. Like she is a menace. You saw she was taking out the robots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's a menace. Ultraman is a menace. Like he was giving Clark he giving Superman the work. We also saw a little bit of Hawk Girl, which also we saw in the Peacemaker season 2 trailer, by the way. But we saw a
Oh.
little bit of, but we saw some Hawk Girl. Guy Gardner, like, look, he's a dick, and like he is an annoying ass ginger dude, right, with a stupid haircut. But don't doubt that his lantern, his ring slinging skills are not on point at all time. He's just like he flicked them like whatever. And you also saw that he was containing some energy blast or something later on in the trailer. No, Guy Gardner's that guy. Like, don't ever doubt that he's a good Green Lantern. I mean, everybody, like we saw Mr. Terrific getting in.
Mr. Terrific, yeah.
Everybody's doing their thing in this. We saw Cat Grant getting her little selfie, right? While Superman's beating ass outside. It's so God damn, this trailer, it's damn near perfect.
Yeah. it really is. And if something can build up more excitement, I don't know. I was excited to begin with. But if something can build up more excitement, it's this trailer.
Yeah,
That's how you do a trailer, yeah.
and this is the first true full trailer. So this is we're getting a little more of an idea of what's going on. I think we even saw Metamorpho in there, in the little jail cell. And also, let's call it out. Crypto is that he's life. He is giving me life right now. Every time I see Crypto in this, you saw him. They were like in the Fortress of Solitude. He's like, oh, okay, bet. And the engineer was like, holy shit, what the fuck is with this dog? And I was like, yeah, that's right. Y'all playing with okay, let's play around. Ah, man,
that's like a perfect guard dog. To be honest,
I keep saying this. James Gunn, he fucking gets it. Like, okay, this movie could be garbage, but I don't believe that from this trailer. From this trailer, I don't believe it. I just don't believe. Everyone is like just doing their thing. And like the dialogue, the little Pa Kent saying, giving his little talk to
motivational speech.
Yeah, like we get to see both Kent parents are alive. Yay, that's dope.
Nobody wants to see that shot from Man of Steel.
They're both alive. And can we put some respect on David Corn Sweat? He's Superman. Like
exactly, yeah.
I really like. I've been thinking this anyway. I've been thinking this for a while anyway, just from like behind the scenes and like the little teaser. But like, he's not invincible. He's super strong. He's not invincible, so he's gonna take some hits, right? He's gonna get knocked down. He knows,
but he'll get up again.
Yeah, and it's weird seeing people be like, "Boo, Superman," but also it's cool as hell to see people
what kind of people like? What kind of people are throwing garbage at him? I really, really want to, like, what's going through your head?
Yeah, but to see him later then be like, yay, Superman. I love that too. And I love that conversation with Lois, grilling him really is kind of revealing things about Superman, about Kal-El, about Clark Kent, about how he sees the world. And that, yeah, he does it. It's not that it's black and white. It's just right or wrong to him, and he doesn't understand.
I think this movie is gonna. I think and I hope that this movie is gonna do this thing where we actually get to know the character, because the previous movies that at least I've seen, they many of them focused on the people around him and what he does, but not who he is.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty clear that. He's not, it's a Captain America situation, but like he's not forming his like the thing about Man of Steel is he was still trying to forming his outlook on the world, and then like Zod and all that. But this is a fully formed, fully realized Clark Kent and Superman that knows what he thinks about the world, how he what he values. He knows and understands it. And the world is bumping up against that. And I think that maybe what Gunn is aiming for is that a harsher and more cynical, a less trusting world doesn't know what to do with Superman. Doesn't know what to do with a godlike person who isn't lording over you, but is in fact coming to save you. And they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to interact with the person. And
they don't trust it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that. The avatar for that cynical world is going to be Lex Luthor. There is an ideological clash that's also a physical clash, and the cynical world is going to, bend all of its resources to tear down this hopeful, less cynical person who still at the end of the day would say if Lex Luthor were falling into a volcano, he'd still go get him. Right? He would still go get him because that's who we. Okay, I ain't gonna soapbox this anymore. I love this trailer. This is one of the best trailers I've ever seen. Definitely the best trailer I've seen all year. I'm fucking excited. I can't wait to get my Funko Pop.
I don't know. Fantastic Four is also a great trailer.
Look. We're getting two amazing things within a few weeks of each other. I'm loving life right now. I'm
not comparing them.
No, it's not even just that. I
I'm
am
not.
I am
Yeah.
so happy. I am so happy with July right now.
Oh yeah.
I am
Oh yeah.
just I don't I'm glad they're both going to exist in the same space. You know, it's not Barbenheimer, but it's Super 4 or something
Well,
like
okay.
that.
To be honest, in my opinion, Oppenheimer was boring.
Well, look, I'm not trying to say in terms of quality, just like it's a moment. We're getting a nerd Barbenheimer, and I'm just happy. And I love this trailer. I love it so much.
It's
Um,
true.
so I think that's going to be all of our thoughts on that trailer, and that means we're at the end of all of our news for the week. This was what a week! I'm so happy about it, but maybe we missed something, or you just want to leave a comment or complaint. Hopefully not. Complaints are going to go into the complaint drawer, which is also the bin. But yeah, if you just want to say something, show some love, do get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts. And of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com. It's blurred underscore, I can't even talk. It's blurred underscore force one on Instagram and Threads. And it's super underscore not underscore funny show on TikTok. And while you're doing that, do me a favor, get down there, hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other content that we make on Blur Force One. And of course, couldn't do this by myself. I needed my good friend Polly to come in and she puts aside her read hate so that she can talk about all the comics and stuff that she loves. So thanks for joining me today. Where can they reach you on social media?
As usual, it's _mixed. Everywhere you can find it.
Yeah, except and I
on
always
Threads and Instagram.
except fan base.
On Tumblr. Except fan
Except
base,
fan
yeah.
base.
And also, if you know where to find a Reed Richards trash bin, that would be amazing.
I don't know why
Tell
that
me,
doesn't
let me know.
exist. It's I don't know why
Yeah, I
that
mean,
doesn't
he's
exist.
trash.
You could, you know what? That's I don't know if you are crafty, make arts and craft stuff. I think you can make a Fantastic Four Reed Richards trash bin. I think you could do it. Maybe
Yeah, I think
now
we should do.
here's the question. Is it just going to be a bin, a trash can with the 4 on it? Or is it going to, like with the logo on the chest? Or is it going to be like a head with the mouth wide open and like the little gray
That's what I'm
sideburns?
thinking. I think that he should be shaped like a bean. I mean, he can take any shape, right? Why not trash bin?
Oh, if you do that, I want to see it. All right, so everyone, this has been episode 180 of the Supercast. Thanks for joining us. Come back next week. Got plenty more comic book, superhero movie news to talk about then. So until then, I've been Mo, your comic extraordinaire, all things pop culture, joined by my good friend Polly, and we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.